Hey, what's up, folks? Hopefully everybody's having a great Friday. We're going to run through the overlay NBA picks real quickly. Been a nice couple of days over here. Entered a few times yesterday. Got the top, went 10-2 in every single one, so I was happy about that. Our boy Ryan Monks, who we bring up a lot because he's a very communicative customer of ours and he plays on here a lot. Malcolm Brogdon cost him the jackpot yesterday. Malcolm, he went 11-1. Malcolm Brogdon was just not enough to beat Miles Turner. On this website, you lose points for missed shots, and Turner only missed one yesterday.
So it's funny. It's funny we're talking about Brogdon because I was thankful that you kind of talked me off Brogdon yesterday. But the funniest part about the whole thing is that if I had used him, he would have been my highest scoring player on the whole slate. So it was that kind of day for me. Yeah, it sucks about Brogdon, and our boy Ryan Monks. However, at least it happened early, so like the sweat wasn't even ever a thing.
Oh my God, I for sure. So the other day when I came home and I realized I was 11-1 with the last game almost over, you're quickly checking what did I lose because I hadn't looked at the scoring, and I'm like, oh, it's Brooke Lopez that cost me everything. Like, okay, like at least I know for the last 5 minutes of the last game, there's no real sweat here, right? Because I blew one earlier in the day. Uh, our other boy Daniel Allen, who's also another big time overlay player, like he was 12-0 until at the last minute Whiteside tied Fultz. Like that is just a brutal kick to the groin.
It is, but that's DFS though, right? Like that shit happens every night. I mean, how many times have I messaged you, 15 times in a row, like about some shit like that?
Absolutely, it happens over and over again, and sometimes it works your way when like a scrubby, terrible Angels catcher hits his second home run of the game, and you go from 15K to 50. And there's other times where it works the exact opposite way. We've all been on both sides of the equation.
I had a feeling you were going to go there.
Yeah,
Touche.
yeah. Well, it's fun when it works your way, right?
It's really fun when it works your way, and when it doesn't, man, uh, it sucks. But that's what keeps us going.
Sure. So I think a big thing for me right now in the NBA playoffs playing on here is like 2 days ago, I entered once and only once because I didn't feel as comfortable with the slate. Yesterday, I really liked it. So I entered a couple different times. And I think that's going to something I'm going to try to employ moving forward. Again, I'm sure it won't happen, but it's trying to be more disciplined and try to pounce where the iron's hot. I know that's how you treat the baseball stuff on DK is like when you really have like what you feel like's an edge for the day, even if it doesn't work out, that's when you want to be more aggressive.
So I've really started to like. It's tough. I've started to even be better with that because we're doing this so much. We're looking at every slate. It's hard. It's hard for us to like just say, oh, we're not going to play this slate. We're not going to look at this slate because like we have to look at it. We're going over all of them. However, I've realized that even on those slates where like I didn't put a lineup in, but what I would have put in did well. I'm way less upset about that than I am when I shove money in on slates I don't like and I lose it.
Yeah, I hear that. All right, let's run through these picks. I think we're seeing this one eye to eye. I'm gonna tell you right now, just looking at these top ones, I think today's a lot tougher than yesterday. So, because when you tell me Luka or Kawhi, I mean, I'm gonna go with Luka because he's the better overall fantasy player. But this one is really, really close, and it's not one I'm lining up to pick.
Clippers are deeper too, so I'm going to take Luca.
Yeah, Luka has to do it. I'm sure today he makes a concerted effort not to get into foul trouble since he lost most of his second half run the other day. Um, but yeah, I'm with you on that one wholeheartedly. So, all right, next up, I had zero interest in Embiid versus Jokic. We broke this one down on DK. I couldn't tell you where to play anywhere. These guys are so even. They both need game three. I have zero interest in picking this one.
Agreed wholeheartedly.
Like again, this is like would literally be my last one to pick. I would rather pick almost any other pick up here than this one. Gun to head, I'm gonna go Jokic through absolutely no thought or reason.
Yeah, I'm with you on the no thought or reason in Jokic.
All right, I'll take Tatum over Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell was great game one, and he was awesome game two, quarter three. But Mike Conley's back today. Not saying Mitchell won't get his, but Boston is now down a guy with no Gordon Hayward. They're getting a guy back in Mike Conley. Jordan Clarkson has played well. Give me Tatum in this spot.
Yeah, give me Tatum also. He's also better than Mitchell in my opinion.
Yeah, Mitchell's no scrub, but Tatum is emerging superstar.
Mitchell is on the level right below like Tatum and Embiid.
Yeah, I gotcha. All right, next up, Paul George versus Porzingis. Not thrilled with picking this one, but gun to head, I would go with KP.
I'm going to go with Paul George, just a feeling.
Okay. So Karis LeVert versus Gobert. So I think this is another great opportunity to talk about the way that this website scores differently than DK. On DK, give me Karis LeVert. On this site, I'm leading Rudy Gobert because the way they're playing defense on Karis LeVert, we never expect him to have great efficiency.
Oh, man. Yeah, I'm going to go Gobert, who I actually like today. So I love LeVert. You know, he's been so impressive to me, man. Like, Brooklyn got something with him, like, big time.
Hear me now, quote me later. The Brooklyn Nets would be in a great spot if they would somehow move on from Kyrie, if they could get something for him and build with Karis LeVert and Kevin Durant as their main two pieces. Because LeVert is a really good passer and Kyrie is not, and he's not unselfish with the ball. I just think Kyrie would break up the chemistry I think LeVert and KD could create. And then you fill in with like shooters like Joe Harris. You got Jared Allen in the middle. I think that'd be a really good team.
You've been saying that. Like, I think LeVert is like next year could be a top like 15 player. I think he's like that good.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. All right, Kyle Lowry versus Fred VanVleet. I have no interest in picking this one either. This is a tough one because these two guys, I mean, they basically just trade off. I feel like you're just guessing on who makes their three-pointers.
Agreed. I feel like they rely a slight bit more on VanVleet offensively. So I'm going to lean there, but that's biased off of like the past two games maybe.
And I think if it was a close game, I might like Kyle Lowry a little bit better, but I don't necessarily know if this game will be close.
Fair.
So it's a tough one. I'm with you. If you want to just go with the recency bias of VanVleet, I mean, it's as good of reason to pick him as any of these two dudes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Jaylen Brown versus Pascal Siakam. Give me Jaylen Brown. More needed on his team right now.
This is a real tough one. I'm going to go Siakam. Man, he started off so hot last game and then just didn't do a lot after that.
That's the problem with these Toronto Raptors. They're super deep. I have a lot of respect for the Raptors. I respect the Raptors this year more than the Raptors last year, even though, again, they knocked out my Bucks by winning 4 straight, so I respect what they did. But they're doing this all without a true superstar right now. The team chemistry, good coaching, they're so deep with good players.
It is kind of like the Pistons of yesteryear with
like, Chauncey, both of the
yes.
Wallaces, Rip Hamilton, and Tayshaun Prince.
Yes. I mean, those Pistons now are higher regarded than like the Raptors are right now. But if the Raptors win a title this year, they won't be.
Got that. All right, Jamal Murray versus Kemba Walker. I like both guys today, but I'm going to take Jamal Murray because I expect it to be a close game. I think that's the key thing that's of note with the Denver Nuggets. Jamal Murray he's a little bit more passive the first couple quarters. He saves his energy for the stretch run. We expect a close game right here, and it's his game in the fourth quarter.
I'm with you there.
All right, MPJ versus Al Horford. I like this one, though. I'll pick Porter Jr.
Yeah, that's got to be maybe my top one on the board.
I like the next one a lot, too. Give me Lou Williams over Joe Ingles. Mike Conley's back today. Jordan Clarkson is playing well. Ingles will shoot his threes, but he's less needed than he has been the last 2 games with Conley back.
Yeah, the next 2 are easy for me. Lou and Marcus Smart.
Yeah. It's not beyond – like, I wouldn't just lock in Clarkson over Smart because Smart has not played great for DFS the first 2 games. But that game will come, and Clarkson is just much less needed today.
Yeah, exactly.
Ooh, here's a tough one. Marcus Morris Sr. versus Garrett Temple. I can make good arguments for both guys right here, but I'm going to go with Marcus Morris Sr. by an eyelash just because of the missed shots thing. I think Garrett Temple, I like him too, and I like his upside maybe over Marcus Morris. I trust the floor of Morris a scooch more.
I'm going to go Temple, more needed. Simple as that for me.
Okay. Hardaway versus Ibaka. Give me Tim Hardaway, and I kind of like Ibaka today, but I like what I've seen out of Hardaway. He really seems to be stepping up in the series.
Okay, I'm with you there.
Okay. Jay Rich versus Shake Milton. Give you Jay Rich.
Saying easy.
Anunoby versus Zubac. Zubac is falling out of favor as Harrell, who still does not look like Harrell, and because we're both monster Harrell fans, but he's getting, he's got to continue to get better each game. So give me OG.
I like Harrell a lot today, like for real cheap on DKs for sure here. Harrell played 22 minutes last game.
Yeah, and I don't know how long it's going to take him to be the Montrez Harrell that we know and love, but I mean, it'll get here eventually, whether it's today or in 2 games. Like, we love that guy. He's one of our favorite players.
It's not going to be there tonight, but you also have to weigh in the other stuff that goes with that,
He's cheap. This isn't when he's like 6,700.
It's all it is. That's all it is. Thank you.
All right, Grant versus Millsap. Look, Millsap burnt me last game, so I'm going to ride the hotter hand of Grant.
Yeah, I mean, they seem like they want to give Grant a lot of minutes. He brings that more. Millsap is more savvy and does a lot of good things, but Grant is just more athletic. So I'm going to go Grant.
All right, DFS, Dorian Finney-Smith versus Alec Burks. Burks is another guy. I expected a solid game out of him the other day, and Brett Brown went with Raul Neto at the first run, and then Burks shot it terribly. So give me DFS, Dorian Finney-Smith.
I think Burks bounced back. I'm going to disagree with you here and go Burks.
Okay. Marc Gasol versus Montrez Harrell. I don't like Harrell as much as you do today, but I'm going to side with you on this one. Marc Gasol is the guy that he's there to play defense on this team.
This is true. See, these are the two, I'm going to go Harrell here for sure.
All right. Jared Allen versus Tobias Harris. Give me Jared Allen.
Same. Big man. He does a lot, man. He's another guy. He's part of that core now. We talk about this a lot with teams, does it really matter to make the playoffs and this 8 seed and all that? For a team like Brooklyn, it couldn't be any better for them to be here.
Yeah, that's good experience. All right, Cantor versus Thies. So last game, Philly got up big early, so they went to Cantor for offense. I don't expect that today, so I'm going to go with Thies.
Okay, same.
Thibault versus Wanamaker. Give me Thibault. I just feel better about his safer minutes.
Yeah, same. Definitely Thibault.
All right, Seth Curry versus Maxi Klieba. Seth Curry.
Seth Curry, easy for me.
Boban versus Plumlee. You guys know how much I love Boban. I don't trust his minutes until I see a game. Like game 1, Porzingis lost run, so Boban came in. Game 2, Doncic was on the bench, so they needed something for offense, so they went Boban. I don't trust him to play today necessarily, so give me Plumlee.
Give me Plumlee for sure here.
But I'm not lining up to pick it because Boban only needs 8 minutes.
True. I just don't think he gets that 8 minutes tonight.
All right, Raul Nettle versus Hollis Jefferson. I have zero interest in picking this one. Both of these guys are candidates not to play.
Give me RHJ. Just why not?
Get a big lead and he comes in.
Yeah, exactly.
Nettle has played well in his minutes, but I don't trust him to even have run today.
Sometimes, when they're on the court together, I confuse Siakam and RHJ, so maybe overlay will confuse their scoring here too.
Probably not, but I mean, hey, it's a theory.
It's something.
Awesome, guys. Well, thanks for watching. Don't forget to click that thumbs up button, and we'll see you guys for some baseball a little bit later.
Thanks, guys.